What's up, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Jermaine Morgan TV. I think it's about time for another bass review. It's been a minute since I've been on here and did a bass review. We've been doing a lot of other things, but just in time, Warrior, as you can see on the back of this bass, they've sent me this Messenger. Now, I think this is a really nice, playable bass right out of the gate. My initial thoughts of it. They reached out, my good friends over at Warrior reached out to me a few months ago and told me about this bass, and they wanted me to just kind of put my hands on it. This is like literally fresh off the press. This is like the prototype for this particular model of the Messenger. If many of you have kept up with Warrior, rather, then you know the Messenger bass came out some years ago, that particular design, and but this is a slightly different design to that particular line of basses. So I wanted to put my hands on it. They wanted me to put my hands on it. So I've been playing this bass for a couple of weeks now, getting familiar with it. I'm still learning my way around, as you do with any bass. There's a lot of different tone options, a lot of different things you can pull out of a bass. So without further ado, we're going to jump into this today. Right now, I have some backing tracks that I'm going to be playing to. They're going to give, some context about how this bass sounds, how it kind of sits in the music. What I'm going to do with these backing tracks today, I'm going to be going through this EQ stuff, and we will go down through the specs and everything. I got my spec sheet here so I can give you all the answers to any questions that you may have concerning the specs of this bass. Well, at least most of the specs of this bass. But I'm going to play it because the biggest thing, we want to know, what does it sound like? That's great what it looks like, but what does it sound like? All right, so I'm going to play again with one of these backing tracks that I have here that's available on my site. I may play with more than one just to give us some variation of styles and genres and stuff. But for now, we're going to play to this one called So Worthy. And the way I have this bass set now, let's just quickly go through the preamp of the bass just so you know what I have going on. So this is the 2026 18 volt big three preamp by Warrior. This, you can see the little cover plate is covering up. You can't see anything, but really great preamp. You have this one, if I can talk today, you have this one pickup. Right, that's the word I was trying to think of. I couldn't think of the word pickup. All right, so anyway, you have volume right here. You have the highs right here, and you're going to have the lows or the bass right here, and then you're going to have the mid, and it's the mid boost, push pull, mid boost, and then you have the frequency selector switch, that you can switch back and forth through to find the different frequencies for that mid boost, and you can hear all of that. So what I'm going to be doing as I'm playing, I'm going to toggle through the tone settings of this bass and just kind of see what works better for the sound that I'm going for. And so you're going to hear it. Right now, it's kind of just a standard, just big bottom. I don't have a lot, I don't have a lot of highs or anything like that. I don't have the mids boosted. They're sitting about halfway. The only thing that's really boosted is the bass, just for that bottom end, right? And so we're going to play through it, and I'm going to be adjusting as I go. So just be sure to listen out for the different tonalities as I'm playing. I'm going to adjust. I'll probably start out playing finger style, and then I'll get into more of the thumping and the slapping, and I'll adjust the settings as I'm going. So just be listening for it, and you can hear it come out in the mix. All right, so also be listening for how this bass kind of sits in the mix of everything, how it cuts through. All right, here we go. kind of gives you an idea of something in context. Sorry for my little flubs. I'm trying to go back and forth and just switch and sweep through the different frequencies of this bass. I didn't cover everything. I'm playing with the finger tone. Now I just flip that button all the way to the back. I got my mids boosted all the way. And you see it cuts through pretty good. And I don't have the highs boosted. Now I'm boosting highs even more. And that's me with the mids boosted all the way with that toggle switch pushed all the way back. As I'm sweeping through, you can hear a lot of that slap finger tone come alive. I was actually kind of blown away at the versatility of this bass with just having that one pickup back there. And this is real raw. I think the way I wanted to do this video, I didn't want to have it over edited or anything like that. I wanted you guys to just see the real raw me going through this bass, hearing the real frequencies, hearing the real tones, hearing me sweep through and find the different tonality options of this bass. So that's why I wanted to do it this particular way. So let's jump into the specs of this bass. This is a 34-inch scale, right? And so like most of the custom Warrior basses are, the 34-inch scale, the action on it is set fairly low. I think when I got the bass, the only thing I had to adjust was like the B string, and I think that was just due to weather going back and forth and that kind of thing. But as far as playability, I didn't have to do anything to the bass. I just plugged it up and went to playing on it, and it felt great. So the body is black limba. That's the body of the bass. It's actually black limba. I personally never heard of that wood, but it's a beautiful, as you can see, a beautiful wood. And this is custom, by the way. And I will mention something about this a little later, but this is an anointed oil finish on the body. So it's just a, that oil finish that you can see, that little nice little shine on the body. All right. And so the front of the artwork, this artwork on the front is the Gabriel sword, like Gabriel the angel. It's the sword of Gabriel. That's on the front with the Hebrew inscription on here, and I want to say that's warrior in Hebrew. You barely can see it. I don't know if I can get it a little closer. There you go. So I can get it in there a little bit better where you guys can see the grain and the quality of this actual wood here. Beautiful, beautiful bass. It does have the one piece, a quarter sawn maple neck. Never heard of that particular maple, but these are woods. I'm learning just like you guys are learning about these woods. I don't consider myself to be an expert on the specs and that type of thing of the bass. All right. Trying to give y'all a nice little close up. There we go. And this is just a name on the bass right now. Like I said, this is a prototype bass, but I wanted to be able to play it for my audience so you guys could see it up close and in personal. The fretboard is rosewood with TBD inlay. So this is the rosewood, and so here's the inlay, basically just the warrior. It's the warrior sword that's pretty custom on their bases that you can see. But this is a rosewood fretboard. All right. What else am I missing here? Headstock is a rosewood with abalone. So here's the same thing with this headstock. I'm gonna get a little closer. There you can see that beautiful warrior inlay right there on that headstock. Right. I just want to give you guys a close up, and you can see the tuners that's on here. All right. What else am I missing? So it's a Bartolini pickup that's on here. All right. And so it's a USA black bridge knobs and keys. You got the back plate. That's a messenger halo. Right now, I think this is just a handmade, but I think you have the option of getting the so we'll figure that out later in terms of, but this is what you could see here is the American handmade warrior faceplate on the back right here, the cover plate on the back. All right, so all American handmade bass, guys, and as you can see, it's a bolt on. It's not neck through. And I'll be throwing out these terms, and I assume everybody knows what that means. But just in case you don't know what bolt is, just like it sounds, because I didn't know. I'm saying this for the people that don't know about basses and custom basses, neck through versus bolt on. This is a bolt on bass. You could see where literally it bolts on, the neck bolts on to the body of the bass, whereas a neck through would be a little different. Like this would be a neck through bass, right? No bolts, all right? Don't feel bad if you didn't know that. I didn't know it. I didn't know that like many years ago. But just in case you didn't know it, that's the difference in it. But as you can see, this is a very, very beautiful, beautiful bass. And now I want to make sure that I make this known to you guys, because this bass, it hasn't even went into full production. But as of this video coming out, I'm doing something for my subscribers. Now they are doing a limited run of these basses. It's going to be about 10 of them. And just for a limited time through the month of October, I don't know when you're watching this video, but this is 2025. It should be October 1st, 2025. But for the month of October, if you're hearing and you're liking what you're hearing, you want something different in the arsenal. One of the questions I've been asked so far, how do you like this one as it compares to your Isabella bass, your 5-string Isabella bass? I could say it this way. They're two completely different basses with two completely different personalities doing their own thing. My Isabella is in a lane all by itself, and I think this bass is in a lane all by itself. Obviously, it's not even the same pickup configuration. Even though there's the same preamp in it, the configuration is completely different. Whereas I have volume and I have like a pickup blend here. This is the highs right here for this particular bass, and then you have like my Warrior, I want to say you have the pickup blend, and then you have a stack knob with the bass and the highs, and then right here I have the mid and the mid boost with that same selector switch on my Warrior Isabella bass, whereas this one you just have the volume, highs, lows, mids with the push pull with the boost right there, right? And so you have that with this particular bass. Honestly, there's a pretty simple setup with the EQ of this bass. It's not intimidating. I've played some basses and the EQ setup, it can be very, very intimidating. This particular bass is not intimidating as far as the EQ, and finding your way around it fairly quickly with this particular bass. As you've seen when I was playing and going through the different settings of the bass, I was finding my way through pretty quickly. Maybe I'll do that again and let you guys know what I'm doing as I'm playing, so you can kind of hear real time and really be able to tell, okay, he just adjusted that, if you didn't catch it the first time through. But through the month of October only, you can use my code. Let me find my I put it somewhere here. Where's my phone with my code on it? Hopefully I didn't. There it is. You can use the code, and don't worry, I'll put all of this in the description where you can find out more information about this. But you can use my code throughout the month of October only, and that's going to be JM10/25, and you can get 10% off of your purchase of this bass. Now, the build time for this bass is about 8 to 12 weeks. So if you order it in October, you should have your bass somewhere around the Christmas mark, somewhere around that timeline. If you order it, again, this is going to be a limited run of these basses. They're only doing 10 of these right now. So if you want this, you can kind of get this pretty much custom bass. And I think the price on that right now that they have is about, I think it's priced at about $4,200, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but I think it's priced at about $4,200. You can get 10% off of that with using my code for the month of October, if this is something that you want to take and get for yourself, this limited run of this particular bass. And yeah, tell them I sent you. But again, I put all of that contact information. I put all of this, the ways you can get this in the description, where you can find all of this information and you can begin to get your own custom. I think they got this one down. Most custom bases are going to run you anywhere from $3,000 on up, depending on what you get. And warrior bases normally are a little more expensive than even with that price range. So if you're in the market for a custom base, I understand this is not for everybody, but if you're one of those 10 that you're in the market for something different, something that's different from maybe your other bases that you got, that has a slightly different personality. Now, I will say this: I have recorded with this bass already on something that I had around here, and the bass records great. I have played with this bass live, and the bass cuts through really, really well. Matter of fact, I think I was cutting way too well. So it feels great to play live. So I encourage you guys, check it out. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about this bass. If you're digging it, if you're not digging it, I understand everything ain't for everybody. So let me know in the comments what your real thoughts about this bass is. And again, if you're somebody that's interested, you're one of those 10 that are going to grab this before December, and grab it in the month of October, be sure to reach out. I put all the information in the description of this video below. All right, so let's play again through this one last time. I'm going to play through this track and just kind of let you hear how it sits in the mix. I'm going to tweak as I go. I'm going to tell you the tweaks that I'm making as I go. So I don't know now. I'm going to start out once again with finger tone. I'm going to set my highs flat, my bass is boosted, and I'm going to set my mids flat. I'm not going to boost it this time. I'm going to set my selector switch, and the settings is 200, 500, and 800. So you have 200, 500, and 800 in terms of the frequency range that you can switch through with this. I forgot to tell you guys about the frequency range of this frequency selector switch, right? 200, 500, and 800. So right now I'm going to set it at 500, and I'm going to start playing, and I'm going to let you guys know the tweaks that I'm doing as I'm playing. So let's play through this one more time. Boost my highs. I'm gonna boost it. Pull my highs back to midway. Boost my mids all the way up. Bass is boosted. I think you guys is kind of getting an idea. So I'm just sweeping through the different frequencies of this bass. And as I said before, with any bass, you'll spend years. I remember my Warrior Isabella, I spent years finding different tones. Wow, I ain't never heard that one before. And so like with any bass, man, you're gonna go through it. You're gonna find some amazing tones. So my take on this particular bass, I know it, a lot of you guys want to know what I think about it. I think this is a great bass. I think this is a great accessory, something to add to your toolbox. It gives you another option of tonality if you're playing the same thing, you're tired of hearing the same thing, or if you like custom basses and you want something else in your arsenal that cuts through really, really well. Obviously, I mean, I thump, but that's not my thing as much. I do it, but I'm more of a finger tone type of guy, and the finger tone on this thing is bananas. I'm still learning it. Keep in mind, again, guys, I'm still learning the sounds and the settings of this bass, getting comfortable with it, letting it, you know, kind of become me, part of me. Because sometimes with basses, it take a minute to settle in. Some people can get on a bass and immediately find, you know, everything that they're looking for within a few minutes. And I applaud all of you guys. But sometimes with me, I got to live with the instrument for a little while before I really start dialing in tones that I really like, or things that I would want to use, like when I'm recording or playing live and that kind of thing. I've gotten there for the most part with this, but there's still a little bit more time I think I want to spend with it. But let me know your thoughts. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? What do you think about the design of the bass? What do you think about the tonality of the bass? And these string gauges are pretty much, I think, what I use is, you know, I want to say this is 40, 60, 80, 90, and 120, if I'm not mistaken. It might be 95, I think. I'm not sure. I had to find out the actual gauges of the strings, but I pretty much think that's what it is. All right. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on the bass. I'm interested to hear it, and I'm interested to know what you think about it. And I will be doing more of these, not right away, but I will be doing more bass reviews. But let me know in the comments what you think. And if you guys want this backing track that I played too, it is available on the Straight Gospel, I want to say the Straight Gospel 1 bass jam pack. It's available there if you want the instructional of how to play through that. I did do an instructional called Straight Gospel bass jam instructional for this, and all this is available on my site. Maybe I'll put a link at the end of this video where you guys can find that, and other materials that will help you to improve if you are somebody that's trying to grow in the area of gospel music, or just as a bass player in general. I'll put those things where you can get access to them. Anyway, thank y'all for watching this video. Once again, I'm Jermaine Morgan, and I appreciate you for tuning in today. Stay tuned. I have more content coming your way, but I appreciate y'all for rocking with me today. I'm out. Peace.